We have breaking news this noon. Just about 4 hours ago, after more than 13 days of a manhunt throughout Pennsylvania, police captured an escaped murderer. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Danilo Cavalcanti, convicted of killing his girlfriend, is now back in police custody. Officers say they found him more than 20 miles from the prison. A search team says that they found him sleeping in the grass, laying on top of a rifle. Cavalcanti was on the run since August 31st, somehow evading hundreds of officers. In that time, investigators say he stole a vehicle and a gun and changed his appearance.
Thank God there were no injuries to law enforcement or to the public. We obviously became deeply concerned after the suspect was able to steal a weapon.
The Pennsylvania DOC says Cavalcanti will stay with police for a health assessment, then go to a state correctional facility. We'll be following this story throughout the day, both on air and online, so be sure to check us out at 4 for another update. Voting is underway right now for workers at the Hormel plant in our area, and depending on the results, it could lead to a strike. Cece Gaines shows us the potential impact.
Right now, hundreds of Hormel workers in Austin, Minnesota are voting on whether to approve a new contract. Now, workers have until tomorrow to cast their vote, and depending on what they decide, they could go on strike. Now, workers are asking for higher wages and pensions after the union says Hormel made $2 billion in profits within the last year. A situation similar to this happened here back in 1985. Workers went on strike for a year, standing up against wage and benefit cuts. It tore this city apart and made national headlines. Now, Hormel says it's optimistic that the two sides will reach some type of agreement. Voting lasts until tomorrow, and we find out the results on Friday. I'll send things back to you.
Metro Transit union workers are keeping an eye on a bargaining session scheduled for next Friday. This comes after the union voted to authorize a strike. Workers are calling for more staffing, saying Metro Transit has the funding to get more people into open positions. If they can't reach an agreement, the union would have to file a strike notice before walking off the job. There's a meeting tonight at 5 focused on Minneapolis property taxes. City leaders are hearing from the community on a potential tax levy for next year at 6.2%. It's part of Mayor Frye's nearly $2 billion budget proposal for next year. Now, if this plan is approved, it would mean the median taxpayer would pay about $150 more in property taxes in 2024. In less than 3 hours, Minnesota senators are meeting to talk about a housing problem in Dinkytown. The apartment complex called The Identity was supposed to open in August for U of M students to move in, but that didn't happen. Identity Dinkytown then refused to release tenants from their leases, sparking a lawsuit. The St. Louis Park School District is looking for a new superintendent after the current district leader submitted his resignation. The district says Dr. Aston Osai told them yesterday about his decision. Tammy Reynolds, the director of student services, will now lead that district as acting superintendent. Turning to the weather now, plenty of sunshine in the forecast out there today. So, Ben, how's it feeling right now?
You know, it feels really good. Kind of a crisp morning. Many of us started off in the lower 40s and even some 30s for areas outside the Twin Cities metro. But this will likely be our coolest morning of the next 7 days. And you can see a live look at our radar and satellite composite. It's basically nothing but sunshine across the Twin Cities area with a few low clouds hanging on in western Wisconsin. Temperatures are still a little cool, still 59 degrees in the metro, and you can see warmer temperatures further west. Most of us will be well into the 60s to even a few low 70s by this afternoon, so a little warmer than what we saw yesterday. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast, and notice it's nothing but blue sky all the way through the afternoon. Temperatures peaking about 4 or 5 o'clock where we will be in the upper 60s. We do get a brief warming trend on Thursday before some rain and possibly even some thunderstorms Thursday night into Friday morning. We'll track that next cold front coming up. Lauren?
All right, gorgeous fall day out there, Ben. Thank you. We have some new information about this wild scene in Golden Valley. This happened around 1 a.m. just outside of our studios. Plymouth police say officers found this stolen vehicle that was being tracked by its manufacturer. They put out stop sticks and the vehicle crashed into the median of Highway 55 and Boone Avenue. 4 kids ran from the vehicle but were caught. Well, as soon as tomorrow, people can begin rolling up their sleeves for the new COVID-19 booster. Here's a look at who doctors say would benefit from the latest dose.
I'm Danny Spiewak. The CDC has given its approval to a new COVID booster that you can get this fall from Pfizer and Moderna. CDC is recommending that everyone 6 months and older get this shot. And that even goes for those that didn't get the vaccinations the first time around. However, the last time this booster was offered last year, less than 20% of Americans got it. And in Minnesota, only 27% are considered up to date on their full vaccine series and a COVID booster. But health experts say you should get not only the COVID booster, but also your flu shot this fall. You can get them both at the same time.
Well, today the FDA is planning next steps after it determined certain over-the-counter cold and allergy medications don't do what they're intended to do. The FDA will figure out whether to take back over-the-counter status or remove the medications altogether. Yesterday, experts with the administration determined the oral version of phenylephrine is ineffective. That's the main ingredient in drugs like Sudafed, Benadryl, and NyQuil. New today, President Biden will begin putting together a special cabinet to address cancer. It will be made up of experts across federal agencies that will keep the country up to date on new steps to end that disease. The move also includes a $240 million investment to fund cancer-related projects and research. There's a push to keep former President Donald Trump off Minnesota voters' ballots. Coming up, we'll explain the law that the lawsuit is citing and how it would impact the presidential election.